to my channel. This is Michelle for Afro Expats, and today I have the absolute pleasure of spending time in Mazatlan with my friends. We actually met less than a year ago. We met online, just like I meet everyone online. I know I say that every interview, but that's usually where the relationship starts. And they found me, I found them. We were able to meet in person in San Miguel, and now we're actually here in Mazatlan where they live, and I'm so excited to talk to them and just like share this beautiful view in the background where they live, everything about their journey to Mexico. In addition to that, like they've been just like the host with the most right now, because normally I'm planning our trips and I haven't had to think about anything. We've eaten great food, we've done some really cool things. So without further ado, I'm going to let them take over and tell you about their journey to Mazatlan, to Mexico, how they ended up here. This is Madison, and this is her husband, Cedric, and I'm Michelle, and I'll let you guys jump right in and let us know, like, how did this kind of process start for you?
First of all, Michelle, thank you so much. Oh my God, I don't even know where to start, because you were just like, when I was like on the edge, like, oh my God, are we doing it? We're like, calm down. Your voice is so soothing. Madison, it's okay, calm down. So just like you said, you know, we met online. Cedric and I have had this fantasy that we were going to leave Atlanta, and our goal was to go to Greece.
Oh, that's right.
But, you know, with the pandemic and everything that was going on, you know, he came up with that. He goes, He goes, I wonder what Andy and Red are doing. And I'm like, Andy and Red? I'm like, what the heck? Who? I'm like, who are Andy and Red, okay? And so, what's your favorite movie, babe?
Shawshank Redemption.
Okay, Shawshank Redemption. And it was the ending of Shawshank Redemption,
Right.
with Andy and Red in that little town of...
Mazatlan.
Right.
That's right.
That's easy for me to say.
Right. So yeah, Zawataneo. And he said, you know, he goes, we're not going to be able to do Greece right now, because in my mind, for us to do Greece, we're going to either charter a plane, or he's going to buy me a plane or something, because we have 2 small dogs. And so I wanted to make sure that, you know, we're not going to do commercial airlines with our puppies. So it's like either we're charting or something to get to Greece. But that just didn't pan out with the pandemic. So when Cedric started, you know, just saying, you know, Red, I wonder what Andy and Red are doing. And he started talking about this town, Zawataneo. And he's like, man, we're gonna drive to Mexico. And I was like, whoa, buckaroo. Let's slow down a minute, you know? Right. And so I was like, let me see if we can drive, you know? And, you know, he's got this fantasy in his head and everything. And I know my husband, if he gets locked in on something, he's like a pit bull, and he's locked in, he's not gonna let it go. So I was like, all right, well, let me just do some research and see. And so I went to the internet and panicked. And all I know was that I looked up something about expats, and I saw all these people, and I was like, yeah, but you was like, oh, when I saw your picture on the internet. And I was like, okay, let me see who you are. And when I started, like, you know, going through, because I'm like, you know, Snoopy like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let me see.
For real.
Let me see what this lady is about. And everything about you, I was like, this is my girl. And all I know is that when I called you, and I was like, listen, I said, we're thinking about coming to Mexico. I see that you've been there. And you were just heart wide open.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God. Because you've been in San Miguel. For how long now?
For 3 years.
Yeah, and that was like another big attraction, because I'm like, this is a brother, and I'm like, this is the whole family. I'm like, she's a wife. I'm like, she's got a dude like I got a dude, and she's got a real little one too, you know. And I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
And so, you know, having that conversation with you and Daryl, I mean, you guys spent almost 2 hours.
That's right.
With us on Zoom.
Yeah.
And it was like you answered every question. You didn't fudge anything or anything, and that was just like so amazing.
Yeah, that was kind of the pivotal point for me, you know, where I was overjoyed to share my journey with others, you know, not just to just say other Black people, but that's sort of where this path led me was, oh, okay, they want to see how we live from our lens. And so you and Angelique and Dana, I think you guys actually were the very first couple that, and Black folks, period, that I spoke to about life in Mexico from our lens, period. I mean, even though we had the opportunity to entertain
We're the pioneers of Afro Expats.
Yeah. You know, it was sort of like I started this concept of Afro Expats, which was really just, you know, here's our journey, here, you know, it's a YouTube channel, you know, here are the fun trips we're taking, and if anyone's interested in Mexico, here are the different places we're going to. So it was more of like a travel blog than anything. And then I started seeing more and more people who wanted to leave the US for all the different reasons. Everything that happened in 2020, I think, just really enlightened all of us, you know, as human beings. And when I had the conversation with you guys, I was just really, I mean, as excited as you are and you felt, I was also excited. It was just like, oh yeah, you know, like I was, do I sound too like crazy, like extra happy, you know, because I'm like, yeah, we love it here. You know, sound almost like desperate, but no, really, truly is coming from a place of, I love living in Mexico. They have treated us kindly. It's been a whirlwind of an experience. I'm really grateful that I'm accepted here, and you know, just having someone ask me like, what is it like for you? I was so happy to pour in, you know, and give you everything.
Did you pour? I mean, you poured and poured and poured. And you know, really quickly, Michelle, I know we're doing this interview, but I just want to talk about that experience that we had yesterday at Stone Island.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Just for those, I mean, it was just a group of a family,
right.
A Mexican family. And they were like, you know, they want to take pictures with us.
Right, exactly.
Man, and just the thing, and they were just like, you know, just wanted to share and just be, and I'm like, man, if we could have these kind of experiences at home.
Yes, you said that.
You know? It's
just
like
feeling like, you know, there's not that light on you in a negative kind of stereotyping way, you know, and it's not everywhere, but it's like, I think we operate under that cloud at times, unfortunately. That's just, you know, something that I think we've become accustomed to, and we just move around society this way. But being here, right, that was really sweet and special, and they were so excited.
Yeah,
we didn't know what they were saying
at all.
All we knew was that they wanted to take pictures with us, and we're like, yes, introducing Janet Jackson, Jackson sisters. And they were like, pictures with you, and this guy was like, these two, I wanted photo. Yeah, we knew photo. That's pretty much what was happening. So that was really special.
it was just really cool. And you know, it just you know, it was just so special because it was like, gosh, it was
confirmation.
Yeah, it was really confirmation. And if other brothers and sisters, you know, back in the States could just have that kind of experience of how we are so welcomed here and how we're wanted here, you know, even more importantly, because I think it's the worst thing in the world to be in a space where you don't feel welcome.
Exactly.
You know?
Or you feel like you have to be on guard on a regular basis. You know, and I felt that way, not necessarily just because of my skin tone. I felt that way as a parent moving around society because of some of the violence that we just, you know, can randomly experience. And it always had me on guard. Exactly. And I always felt like, you know, when I'm dropping him at school, I'm not relaxed. You know, I go out in public with him somewhere, I'm not relaxed. And it was such a shift for me from just, you know, someone who just moved around society, where 5 years ago, I started feeling like when I go out, I'm positioning myself in a certain place in the movie theater just in case, or you know, and I don't want to live like that. I don't want to think like that. And there are countries in the world that I felt that way, and I'm like, I would never live here. You know, I will visit and I'm going to keep it moving. And I felt the same way after a few. Maybe it was just my own, you know, conscience or whatever, but that's the way I started feeling. And I remember day one of moving to Mexico and going into the square with my kid, and it was kind of like just this breath that I let go.
Wow.
I really,
You were breathing.
yeah, and I remember he was running around in the square with some other children, and I remember thinking, like, I'm not thinking about the potential for someone to come here and start shooting.
That part.
And I just remember thinking, like, oh yeah, another confirmation that this was a right choice for us, you know. Again, I'm not trying to take away from the fabulous things that happen in the US, but I'm just talking about my anxieties and the things that were challenging for me as a human and as a parent,
Right.
you know. And of course, I feel like since we've been here, there's a lot of syrup that's been poured on top of all the other positive things. It's like, okay, you know, my cup runs over. So, yeah, but you know, we're grateful, still grateful.
Mexico has been, it's been an absolute, it's been a charm, it's been a dream, it's been, there's so many beautiful things about this country. And, you know, I love where we are here in Mazatlan. You know, we're living right here on the Malacan. You know, to be able to wake up to the sound of the ocean and go to sleep to the sound of the ocean, and it's wonderful. And the food is, the fruits here have seeds.
Yeah.
Let's start with that,
Yeah.
okay? And guess what? If you were to take one of the seeds and put it in dirt, you know it does this weird thing like, oh yeah, germinate and grow. You know?
No, it's true. It's true.
And it's really like, there's so many little things that are very different from the United States. Like for one, eggs are not refrigerated here.
Right.
That freaked me and Cedric out the first time we saw that.
Right. You're like, are these fresh?
Right. But it was like a whole stack of them. I was like, there's got to be something to it because there's like no refrigeration.
Right.
And the yolk is like orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, where back home it's yellow.
Now, I think there are things in regard to the food that we've kind of, you know, gotten accustomed to. But yeah, they do it differently here. Yeah, fresh fruits. And
The fish
you
here
guys
is
are,
so
oh my
fresh.
God, they are living the dream in terms of cuisine. You want good food, come to Mazatlan. Just
Yes,
like
the
every
seafood is
place
everything.
that they have taken us to has just been
And we got one
incredible.
today. And we
Oh,
got
yeah.
one when this is over.
Yeah, that's all I did. I didn't go to the beach. We went to the beach yesterday. Did I even get my toe wet? No, but I ate. I drank and I ate. I've been drinking and eating since we got here.
That's right.
Oh, it's been delicious. I'm serious. Like, San Miguel has good food, but no, they have really good food here. So, and the costs.
Oh man, yes. So you know, my husband is amazing. I'm so thankful for him because he really does. He provides us a very beautiful lifestyle. And you know, when the pandemic hit, I'll admit we got pinched. You know, we definitely got pinched, and you know that was one of the reasons why we had to alter our plans. You know, it's like as much as we love Greece and want to go there, it's like this was just closer. You know, because we can drive, literally drive, thanks to finding that out from you and Daryl.
Yeah.
We can drive back and forth into Mexico. But, you know, like I said, with the beautiful lifestyle that we had in Atlanta, coming here to Mexico, to be very honest, we haven't missed a beat, and we're living the lifestyle that we've lived in Atlanta at a fraction of the cost here. You know, you're talking about someone to come and help to keep things tidy, someone to come and cook, having a masseuse to come and see you. I mean, it's just so many things. And we, you know, what we were spending on I think our water bill is probably what we're spending for our rent.
Wow.
And our water bill was outrageous, we thought.
Wow.
But I'm like, to have that for a rent payment? Okay.
No, it's true. It's true. So tell me about like the whole drive and the journey. I know that you suggested it. What was your experience driving from Georgia, correct?
Yeah.
How long did it take? And What was it
Boy, that was
like?
an adventure.
Well, I think, first of all, we've done a lot of driving. So it's not as uncommon for us to drive somewhere. We do a lot of driving rather than flying. And particularly because we got two puppies, a little 4 and a 5-year-old. We got Chrissy and Jazz. So we have a problem with putting them on the plane.
Right.
With all of the drama we've been hearing recently, it just seems like it's crazy all of a sudden. So wherever we go, we have to take them because man won't leave them with anybody anymore. We've had a couple of situations he's kind of spazzed out on, and so we just load them up and go. But the drive from Atlanta, how we came was we originally came through Laredo. So we drove from Atlanta to Houston, spent a night in Houston, went from Houston to Laredo, spent a night in Laredo, crossed the border at Laredo, and then we drove all the way to you. So that's a full day drive. One of the things here in Mexico, there's a lot of toll booths, which is totally surprising to me.
It is
because
like toll booth heaven here.
I thought New Jersey and New York had toll booth heaven, but no, they got it beat right here. And so obviously, when you first come across, you don't speak any Spanish and they don't speak it. It's a little hairy when you first come across because it's that first experience. But
so you want to make sure you have pesos.
Right.
Yeah.
Do your exchange,
Yeah,
before you look to States.
You need to have some pesos. We were under this myth that they would want our dollars, and so we had cash, USD, and so we eventually had to do some trading out. But that first day was uneventful, other than it was a long way. It looked like driving from Las Vegas to LA.
How many hours is that?
Wow. From the border, from Laredo to you, it's a full day, because we crossed the border about 6 in the morning.
Okay.
And got through there relatively quickly, maybe 45 minutes or so. We did our paperwork, and then we drove all day, and we got to your place, San Miguel, probably right as dark, around 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Now, going back, we've gone back several times now. We've gone back through Brownsville, which is much easier, going over and coming back, by the way.
So driving back and forth to the U.S.
Yeah.
Because we've been back 3 times now.
Okay, so Brownsville is in Texas.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Brownsville to us is a lot easier. Now, what we had heard was Laredo was easier.
Yeah.
We heard the exact opposite. So
We didn't find it to be easy.
no, that's not true. That's not true at all. And so we go through Brownsville. So the way we go now is we leave here early. We go to Monterey. We spend the night. We stay in Monterey for a night. Then we go to the border, and then we stay in Brownsville. Then we go to Houston. Then we drive all the way to Atlanta. So now that's our first way back. Second time we went back, we drove all the way to the border, and then we went to Houston. Then we go to Atlanta. So that's kind of how our route is, so to speak.
Okay, so when you drive from here, so you drove from Mazatlan up to Monterey
Yes.
in Mexico.
Yes.
Okay, so you're kind of going along the west coast,
Yeah.
and then you cut it back across.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
what we didn't want to do was initially we didn't want to drive in the evening at night.
Right.
So, and we know we have to have a place that will take puppies.
Right.
Yeah.
So we go from here to Monterey, which is a big place.
And we get an Airbnb for the night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now the last time we went, we didn't do that. We went straight from here to the border, only to find out the border was closed.
Oh.
Yeah,
And then we had to,
Yeah.
and we didn't know that.
Yeah.
So we stayed on the Mexico side. We had stayed in Reynosa, and we got a nice Airbnb there.
Okay.
So our lifestyle is centered around Airbnbs because we got puppies,
Right.
or A-lofts because they accept puppies. So that's kind of how we navigate. We drove across the country a couple times, but now we got them. We're like, new parents all over again. It's crazy.
They're worth it.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, that's what she keeps trying to convince me. Yeah. I know. I'm looking at you right now.
Oh, to see. So I didn't know that you guys went to up the West Coast. So that's actually interesting. So how long a drive is it in total, in general? Like how many days does it take you? About 2-3 days?
Well, if
To
you,
kind of-
ideally,
So wait, are you talking, when you say West Coast, are you talking about West Coast, like toward California?
Right, because Monterey
it's
is
kind of, Monterey is
I know.
kind of up and
then
over. It's kind of up
okay.
and
A little
over.
bit inland.
Yeah. Still inland and over.
Okay.
So it's kind of up and over, like so. That way is easier. You can do it in one day. You just got to make sure. We happen to go on a holiday on a Saturday or Sunday, and apparently they close early. I don't know when they close, but I know that we found out. I guess it was on Saturday. We were going back. We had a little family emergency, and we went back, and they were closed on Saturday. But normally you can drive all day. One of the most fascinating things about here and the drive to the border is you have to drive from here to Monterey, which has got 51 tunnels.
Yes.
Oh,
You're going to go
really?
through 51 tunnels.
Oh, wow.
50,
All through the mountains.
51
Oh, wow.
mountains.
And I think there's like 2 suspension bridges that look like something.
Look like out
It's
of
art.
Lord of Rings.
Wow.
I mean, how they built these through all of these mountains, I have no idea.
51 tunnels.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
It's one of this area in the mountains that most people like us didn't know it was mountains. We didn't know San Miguel was in the mountains. We didn't realize it was 8,000 sea level.
Right.
I think everybody from the States just makes the assumption every place in Mexico is Cancun or Puerto Vallarta or Acapulco.
Exactly.
Yeah, just on the water.
That's
There's
true.
Mazatlan.
That's right.
And there's it's a fabulous location because, as Michelle said, you can really pick where you want to live. And just like when you're in the States, I've got friends of mine, Brian Reed and his wife, they want to be in Colorado.
Right.
And it's cold as Hades in Colorado, but that's what they like.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I couldn't believe it was going to be cold when we were in San Miguel, but
That's right.
it was cold when we were in San Miguel.
That's right.
And I remember you telling us on the Zoom.
Yeah.
You said, I got a long sleeve on now.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, she just, she at that, I'm going that way. Yeah, I'm
Low
thinking,
irons. You
yeah,
got
I'm
low
going
irons.
straight female. Male. Yeah. I was like, it ain't really. It was cold as hell that night.
That's
Yeah.
right.
It was
It gets
chilly.
pretty cool.
Yeah, but I think what's so fascinating is, you have the best of both worlds.
Absolutely.
There are places in the mountains. San Miguel is a phenomenal,
Beautiful. Oh my
just
God.
breathtaking.
Fell in love
Great
with it.
food, the cobblestone streets, amazing churches,
The
cathedrals.
doors. I mean, there's just so much art and culture.
All of the rooftops, the
Yes,
the
the
nightclubs
rooftops.
and the restaurants
The food.
are on a par of anything we've ever experienced now or any time in Atlanta or any place in the state. Just that nice. And just a fabulous group of people. My take is that the people are super warm, very family oriented, which we can relate as a culture. Here in Mazatlan, they come here, the Mexicans come here rather than going to the touristy places. They come here like we would go to Florida.
Right.
Like we would go to Hilton Head or Myrtle Beach or Panama City or someplace, or if you're in Chicago, you go to Michigan to the lake. And it's the grandpa, the grandma, the auntie, it's 8, 9 of them. And they come on a Thursday. They come on a Thursday and they love it, the kids love it, and it's deja vu. I got 4 girls, and it reminded me of me driving down to Hilton Head, or going to Kiowa, or going to Sandestin, or living in Florida. So they just, very family oriented. They love food. They love music. And guess what? That's the culture we grow up with. That's really the culture we grow up with. Right. It's no different than us having a barbecue. They'll have what's equivalent to their barbecue. Exactly. We have a picnic with everybody coming on Sunday or the Saturday afternoon. That's how they are. I tell you one thing too. They love their beer, and I've yet to see one drunk person here.
That's for sure.
That's true.
I have not seen a loud, obnoxious, bodacious.
Nothing like that.
No, somebody you want to get away. I have not seen one person, and they drink beer all day, all night, and I have yet to see anybody who I felt, wow, I need to move away from this person because there might be some problem. Not one person. Yeah. And here, of course, they have a very high military guard and police, presence.
I tell you what, the police, they look really intimidating here. I mean, they're
look
blacked
official.
out.
They look official.
Black hats, their faces are covered, dark shades, black outfit, and they're carrying around AKs, pistols, and their hands are on the trigger. Yeah. But there's a big difference.
My blood pressure goes down every time I see one.
Yeah.
As opposed to
in the States.
My blood pressure. Every time I see them, I just salute.
They
keep doing what you're doing.
And don't get me wrong, because we're not caught up in a Pollyanna type of dream state that we think that nothing crazy goes on here.
Absolutely.
It can't be. As far as I'm concerned, it can't be any worse than what it is in the States, and the States is damn bad.
Yeah.
All I know is that every day that I've been with my husband, I'm constantly covering him. And all I want is for, as he walks out my door, he comes back in the same way.
Exactly.
I don't have that kind of prayer here. It's more just Thanksgiving.
Right.
My Thanksgiving back in the States was different. It's like, thank God he's home.
Right.
And now it's just different. Yeah. It's just different.
It's an easier lifestyle.
It's a
much easier lifestyle. Much easier. And I literally know 10 Spanish words. And I've been here since November.
Your name, Rico.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm Rico. And but that's the point I want to make. The point I don't want to get lost is, I'm sure people say, well, I don't speak Spanish. I don't either. But I have no problem navigating and engaging with the people. And whenever you do, in any setting, whether it's getting coffee. I got a lineup today because I wanted to look. I'm growing a beard down here. I never had a beard.
Ever grown a beard?
I'm 70-some years old. I never had a beard. I never had nothing on my face. I've had a mustache, but I never had nothing grow. And it is resisting. It's protesting. It's like I don't know.
You look good.
But my point is so I'm at a barber. I'm at a restaurant. I'm getting air in my tire. I'm getting gas. I'm at Sereno's. I'm at PetSmart. I'm at Home Depot. I'm getting a pizza. they want to understand.
Engage.
They are apologetic that they don't speak English. Listen to what I just said. They are apologizing to me for not speaking English, and I'm living in their country. You understand what I just said? You know, because I think there's a double standard in the States, no question. When they are apologizing that they can't speak English and I'm in Mexico. So I say that to give some balance to the narrative of one, how those people are, those people, all right? Two, I want you to understand that they're very family oriented. They are very warm. They're very nice. They're very friendly. They will not, let me say this, they will not overcharge you for something. I'm a big tipper. So somebody says it's 180 pesos, and I give you a 200 peso bill, they will not let you walk away without giving you that 20 pesos back.
Yeah.
I was like, no, they will not have that. That's not how they operate. So what I'd like to say is the experience has been counter to the narrative that's out there about them. They're like we were when I grew up in Mississippi. We just wanted to be normal. We just wanted to go to school, get an education, get a job, have kids, and our kids provide for them. That's all they want.
Right.
That's all they want. That's all. They're hardworking. They're hardworking, and they're very appreciative to do the work. So that's what, you know, you can always speak from a position of not knowing and what you think and how it is, but I've been here and we're coming up on a year pretty soon though. That's another thing. Time really goes fast here.
No.
Friday comes every Tuesday.
5 o'clock comes at 12 o'clock.
Right.
No, that's true.
The days do just really zip by here.
Yeah.
But you know, something else that, you know, we really want people to know about Mazatlan is that, you know, right now the jewel of Mexico, or it's like our people back home, is Cabo. I mean, just over the last few weeks, we've had, I don't know how many people that we know have gone to Cabo. And
My daughter's there now.
You know, everyone's going to Cabo.
Right.
And my thing is, where Mazatlan is today is where Cabo was maybe about 10 years ago.
Right.
Maybe 20.
Where Mazatlan is going to be in the next 2 to 3 years, so 24 to 36 months is where Cabo is today.
Right.
And one of the things that we're really trying to have more dialogue with people that we know is to invest. As a matter of fact, you know, Cedric and I we're not having you here just to snooze with you. We're trying to get you to invest,
Right.
you know. And I know that, you know, your husband is looking around like, you know, so how much is this and how much is that?
Exactly.
So this is like a really great place for investment, and
And retirement.
yeah, and I'll say this, where they have sort of like whitewashed Cabo, this is a place where we can really,
It's pretty authentic.
yeah,
It's still authentic.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
It
and
has
we
not
can-
lost its Mexican flavor. No.
Right, and
No.
we can really just, you know, come here and work with the communities that are here.
Absolutely.
Because they want us here and they appreciate us here.
Absolutely. And I also want people to, you know, I had a conversation with 7 others last week on Wednesday, and, you know, we're talking about ways to educate our community that's moving to Mexico on how you can, one, give back, also invest, so you're not, you know, as Patricia put it, as we don't want to be invaders. We
Right.
also want to be, you know, people that are investing in, like you said, the community. You know, if you buy something or if you start a business, like how are you integrating the locals into, you know, what you're doing? So I say it because I want people to not just look at this as, oh, I'm moving to Mexico because it's cheaper.
No.
You know what I mean?
You know what? That kind of mindset is such a turnoff to me.
Right, exactly.
And I see a lot online where people are looking to move to Mexico and live off of $1,200. See, first of all, we're not even of that mindset, so it's hard for me to even have that kind of conversation because it's like, why would you want to do that? And like you said, come here with the mindset, okay, what can I come here and bring and contribute?
Right.
You know,
How can I add to the equation?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, exactly.
And I also want people to have the mindset of information sharing, not just, you know, what we're doing, which is a start. It's the start.
Yeah.
But also, you know,
And you're doing an awesome job
thank
starting.
you.
Everybody is talking about starting, but nobody ever gets around to doing it.
Oh, yeah.
You follow me?
Yeah.
So salute to you for just bringing it, because I promise you, I doubt we would have ever been here if it hadn't have been for the call that you guys had with us. I mean, it just, you know, we started looking at all the Zoom videos, and it was a gazillion of them, YouTubes, and the Zoom call was a real turning point. And I'm gonna tell you something. It just goes to show you how the universe will meet you halfway once you step out there on faith. Because from the time we talked to you, I don't know if it was a week or 2 weeks later, no more than a month. Somebody rung the doorbell. I wasn't even at home. I came home. Matt said, "You're not gonna believe what happened." I said, "What?" She said, "Somebody rang the doorbell and wanted to know if we want to sell the house." I was like, "What?" It was the craziest thing. And I'm telling you, in a matter of a midget, we were living in a hotel. It was noodles.
We gave away like a quarter of our things to some friends.
It was-
The rest of it, put it in storage, and we packed up what we wanted.
But
and
we
our
went from
effort-
looking at YouTube to talking to you to being in a hotel. And it happened like in a flash. And the next thing we know, we were in our pickup, and everybody thought we had lost our freaking minds. They was like, "Y'all did what?
You
Y'all
drove
going where?"
New Mexico, right?
Yeah. And it's still people today are finding out. And but you know, you're providing a real insight, and like Matt said, we're not trying to make it Pollyanna, but what we're saying is that it works for us.
Exactly.
If you are a person who is not confined by a cubicle anymore, if you're online, if you're an entrepreneur, something of that nature, or you have the flexibility to live where you want to live, you know, this is just you know, I could live and look at Lake Michigan in Chicago,
That's right.
or I could live
Or
here
look at
and
this.
live at what ocean is this?
It's the Pearl Pacific.
So all I'm really saying here is that I think this pandemic has made people really realize how untethered they were.
Yes.
You know, I think there was a lot of belief that, you know, my job got me and I'm good because I got that good job. And then when this happened, they realized that, well, you know, everybody got to make tough decisions.
Yeah.
And, you know, we just made a conscious decision that we could live here and holiday in the States.
Right.
How about that? Rather
Yeah.
than the other way around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Rather than the other way around.
And I mean, this living is so quality. I mean, if you think about it, even if you have or had a really beautiful, you know, existence in the U.S. or whatever,
Pretty good lifestyle.
Right, it comes.
But
at a big
we don't
cost.
miss that. We miss the people.
Right.
Yeah.
But we don't miss
people.
the place, even though we had the place.
Exactly. And you know, the nice, beautiful thing about, at least I said this earlier today when I was speaking with Louis, is what I love about being in Mexico in this chapter of my life is that it's a new country. There's so much for me to see, and I don't feel the need to leave to explore. And when I was in the US, I was kind of like, okay, I've seen it, and now I have to travel every time I want to experience. And here I'm like, I can hop in my car, like, okay, what's 3 hours from my house? Because I haven't seen it all. And I know it's going to take me a while, and I'm happy to stay put and just explore here, because everywhere that I go, it's so different. You know, like, look at this. This is amazing. You know, I've been to Cancun, and it looks very different from this. I live in the mountains, and it looks very different from this. Even the culture, you know, the people are just a little different here. And I just love it. I mean, I'm really amazed and blown away by this whole stretch, you know, because I'm like, oh, it kind of looks like Florida, but it also reminds me a little bit of Monaco, but not as developed. And, you know, so it's just nice to have those options. So I kind of want us to just keep, you know, dispelling these myths that people have about, you know, Mexico. Like, people just sleeping on the Mexicans. That's all I can say.
Indeed.
Stop sleeping on the Mexicans, because honestly, it's a great country, and they accept us. They welcome us in general, as, you know, a country goes. I mean, but I also always say, you know, like, let's walk with grace. You know, like, continue to come and walk with grace, because if we think about how we treat people from other countries in the U.S., I mean, we don't give the same, I think, warm reception in general. I'm not saying everyone, but if they don't speak our language, we're kind of harsh with those situations. And I think that we definitely don't experience that here, when in reality we potentially could. So part of all of the experiences that we have is that, you know, it's the come as you are, you know.
You said something, you used the word to grace. You used the word grace. And if you just stand back for a moment and put yourself as a native Mexican, given the landscape and the narrative of the last several years, if you got a TV or you got internet, the narrative was so despicable in terms of who you were. And as I said, and so for you then to meet an American and embrace that American and not be so judgmental. You follow me?
Yes.
And it'd be very easy to say, oh, this person is from America. Now let's see how they're going to be on this side versus how they. I guess if that's not what grace is, I don't really understand that. And I can tell you. See, I'm in the streets.
He is in the streets.
I'm in the streets.
You gotta give us a rundown of your day when you finish.
I'm in the streets.
Yes.
And these are my people. So I'm around the everyday people. Every day. You follow me? I'm around, you know, my man Tommy Barracuda, the Sandman. You know what I'm saying? I'm around the regular people.
Rocky.
Yeah. My man who runs the Malecon every day, Rocky. That ain't his name, but that's what I call him. And every time I see him, he does that. He just runs back and forth. But my point is that I consider it true grace the way that they have accepted me here, and they could have very easily, with all good reason, just X me out. Not interested. Just totally anti-me. They could have just labeled me US of A. And I would have had to understand it. I would have been perfectly, and in a small part of me, I just felt, I said, eventually I'm going to feel that kind of pushback. Dude, not me. I'm telling you, I done been through this little town. And, you know, everybody, you know, whether it's I need Freon from a guy 4 blocks from here, or the place I get my car washed, or, you know, so I'm hanging out with regular people, not the top shelf people, the political group, the aristocratic. No, I'm dealing with the everyday people. But you know what? I think me growing up in Chicago, living on the South Side, coming from Mississippi, I lived in Mississippi till I was 10. I think that landscape lets me navigate in those lanes totally different, you know, and feel comfortable in it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, I was at the barbershop just talking smack today, you know, and my one barber could speak English and nobody else could speak English, you know, and he was translating everything I was saying. You know, it's crazy.
I love it.
But that's a special place. Given where we've been, what space we've been in the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, that's really grace, man, how they've really accepted us. And I really appreciate it, man. And I don't want that to go unsaid, you know, because sometimes we just take things like that for granted. You know, well, you know, we just met a couple people and they were nice, but everybody else ain't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but we just haven't run across that. We haven't run across that.
That's the heart of, I believe that is the heart of Mexico, is that the people are just genuinely, you know, loving people.
Absolutely.
So that's, you know, that's definitely our experience.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say, make a comparative for me of what your, like, let's say a year and a half ago, what was, first we'll start with Ced and then you. What was your day like in the U.S. compared to your day like now? Because I know you're in total chill mode. I love, because he gave me a little bit of a rundown of, like, you know, I've been to Looney Beans and this is where I have breakfast and this is what I do. I ride my bike. So I really want people to understand not just, you know, the moving and being accepted, but like your lifestyle has been enhanced in terms of just taking care, you know, like you're kind of, not to say you weren't taking care of yourself in the US, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that whole shift and getting outside and eating better and, you know, wanting to just be more alive. I mean, that's what I get from this.
Yes, and I think you've kind of hit it on the head. I think that, you know, obviously we lived in Atlanta, up in Sandy Springs, north of the city, great spot, you know. We lived in a really nice little subdivision, still kind of old school. And what I mean by old school is, you know, people come outside in the morning in their pajamas with a house coat on to get the paper and the mail. Who wears pajamas and a house coat and goes out and get the mail? So we lived in a pretty, what I consider a real bedroom community. You feel me? But each morning I would get up. I get up early. I take the puppies out. I take them to their little spot. We got a couple spots that we take them. Then I come back. I got a little breakfast spot that I go to. I get my Dunkin' Donut coffee. I hate Starbucks. You know, I love the vibe, just hate the coffee. You know, if I could just switch the vibe and the coffee, whoa, I'd be locked in. But see, I'll tell you, I'm on my way to get my coffee. It's on the regular. I'm just not changing that. And then I walk them out like at about 12 and 1, and then they go back out again. And you know, I find something. I'm usually the cooker in the house, and so I find something to cook, either something out on the grill on an air fryer. Then we watch some late TV or something and start all over again. And so now my routine is very similar. You know, I'm here. I'm up about 6:30, 7 o'clock, checking my emails, looking at my phone like everybody should do, I guess, that I shouldn't be doing. And then I take them out on the Malecon. I bring them back, we get them some groceries, get them some food, and then I'm on my bike. I got about 4 places that I go and have coffee. On Tuesday, Lonely Beans is closed, so I go to my other spot, which is called McCall, and I have my standard Tuesday morning breakfast, which is 2 Chicago dogs and a Coke.
Okay.
And fries.
Sounds good.
It was a couple there today that was from, what's the place right next to Puerto Vallarta, Navarrete, something like that? Yeah. And they were here, and they were like, oh, the waitress tells me you're here on a regular. I was like, yeah, I'm here on a regular. And you always eat the same thing. I said, yeah, I always eat the same thing.
They already know you.
Yeah, she says, you only eat that and the meatloaf. I was like, yeah. I was like, it doesn't matter what time you have meatloaf or hot dog. It just happens to be, 9.
9 a.m.
Yeah. And my lady to cook, she knows it's me, so she knows I'm gonna have one or the other. So, but I get a chance to ride to Malecon, which is about 8 miles. It's done a couple things. One, it's gonna keep you in shape on your bike, and you're gonna get plenty of sun. I'm a lot browner, darker than I was when I came here.
Your hair is getting a little lighter.
Yeah, it doesn't look like, it only looks like when it's dry. I got some conditioner in it, which makes it darken up a little bit so it don't look so crazy. But last night I was on FaceTime, and my daughter said I look like the guy in Back to the Future.
Like an exploded dandelion.
Yeah. But and then I come back, and then I go to the market. I go to the market every day, and I get the same thing every day. I get 2 juices. I get strawberry, mango, pineapple, and banana, and then yogurt and honey and ice, and I get dose. I get 2 of them, and then I rotate. I get filet, I get prime rib ground up for them, and I get fish, and I get chicken. So I get chicken thighs deboned. I get some breast every now and then. Mad loves wings. We do wings. And then I got a little place I go in the back of the market that I always get my vegetables. I'm gonna get squash, carrots, onions, garlic, celery. I'm gonna get some lettuce. Huh? Oh, okay. So I'm gonna get all my stuff. Oh, my red pepper, my yellow pepper, my orange pepper. I gotta get them. Yeah. And so and I try to whip up something, and we have a great meal, and then we go out maybe once a week, maybe twice, and we'll get something just to break it up. Mad rides on her bike every now and then. I have to teach her how to put the pedals once in front of each other's, because that's the only way you go forward, when you put one foot.
Oh, you guys are
one thing is that I've been able to transfer everything that a lot of what we do online.
Right.
So building the academy for my husband's business, and there's investments that I do as well, and anything that involves just keeping money flowing mobily, is the thing to do. I think people get caught up in having to actually work.
Right.
And, you know, like you and I were talking the other day, Michelle, it's like, just create.
Exactly.
Create. You know, we're living in an age of information right now.
Absolutely.
And now is as best time as any to take all that, you know, wisdom, that knowledge and experience that you have and create something with it.
Exactly.
And you don't need a brick and mortar. You don't need a building, an
No,
office,
no.
nothing.
You
You just
don't.
need your phone.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not only that, I think that there's always something that we know about that we can offer to others, and there will be a group of people who
Embrace
will
it.
embrace that and pay for that knowledge. And it's interesting because we see it all online now. And the more you look online and the more you investigate things, you'll see opportunities kind of come to your door. Just like you said,
Absolutely.
the universe starts opening for
Oh, yeah.
you. You put it out there, you have the thought, you act on it. You gotta act on it. You know, it doesn't mean you just stop everything you're doing and just, okay, I'm quitting my whole life and I'm gonna do this. It means you start making that ball roll. You know, you open those doors, you open up those channels within your aura and your space to let those opportunities come to you.
Absolutely.
And I think that exactly what you said is like thinking outside of the box of a job and a paycheck and someone else signing that check for you. You know, it's like, okay, well, what do I have to offer? What am I passionate about? What do I really enjoy doing? And Lewis and I, we were talking about this morning because he was making the point that a lot of artists, maybe artists in other places, you know, it's kind of that starving artist mentality,
Yeah.
drawing, can I make a living off of this? But here, I think that there are a lot of communities where people really do what they're passionate about and they make a living
Absolutely.
Yeah, they
because
do.
they're able to think outside of that normal setting. Yeah, exactly. You know, there are guys on the beach, literally, yeah, the guy was making that for you, and there was another gentleman that came with his son. And I thought to myself, like, that's all they do, like up and down the beach. I mean, you saw I took my braids out because I wasn't crazy about them, but you know, there were people braiding hair on the beach, making jewelry on the beach, doing the henna tattoos on the beach, selling donuts. I'm not telling you guys to do that. It's just they are, to me, the epitome of entrepreneurs. They
Yes.
All day long.
like
All day
all
long.
day, and they're persistent, and they just keep
Absolutely.
it moving.
Absolutely.
So
And they're
I really-
engaging. And what about your guy with the mango on the stick?
Oh my God. Okay, so I'll give you.
The
I'll
effing
see my-
mango.
So there was a guy who came by, and I'm just going to use the curse words. So if you're offended, mute right now. But he was walking by with his nicely cut mangoes, you know, like on a little,
Like a
little
floral or
flower,
something,
right,
on
on
a
a
stick.
stick. And then we were at our table, and his probably, I don't know how many words he knew in English, but he knew those words. And he literally kept saying, "Do you want to buy a fucking mango?" And we're like, did he just say what we said?
Now that I got your attention.
Right, he was obviously trying to get our attention. So I think initially we were kind of like, you know, a little bit defensive because he was, you know, he had a presence. And, you know, we're like, did he? Okay, yeah. He's like, yeah, fucking mango. Blah, blah, blah. And then walking around with this like little thing with all these like mangoes cut on a stick. So we let him keep going. He came by a second time and said the same thing.
You want a fucking mango?
And then we had this whole dialogue, and I said, oh my God, I should have turned my video on. And we were there long enough. We were there for a few hours, just at this table. And, you know, there weren't a lot of people in the restaurant. It was delicious. And it was just kind of like a shack on the beach, one of those like restaurant shacks on the beach. So I said to Ced, I'm going to turn my video on because he's going next time, because he's actually going to come back. And it took, what, an hour?
Yeah,
hour and a half?
yeah.
He came back, he said the same thing. So we finally bought the fucking mango. We were having a whole dialogue about the fucking mango. Fucking thank you for that fucking mango. So it was pretty funny. He was tenacious. I wasn't going to eat the mango, but I just wanted to at least buy him, you know, 3 times the charm. He got his 70 pesos. Yeah, so it was pretty cool. They're very tenacious, and I'm not mad at them. I'm really not mad at them.
Don't hate the player,
I'm
hate the
not.
game.
I'm not.
They got the hustle on, and you know, just tag teaming what she said. You know, there. We had this conversation here not long ago. I was having this conversation with someone, and it's amazing how people of color they're labeled hustlers. If they're really about, whether they're selling CDs or selling you T-shirts or selling you
Or insurance,
watches or whatever. But what happens, my point though, is there's a tendency if you don't work for
corporation,
State Farm, IBM, John Deere, whoever, somebody that they consider a company, that you get different cred when you work for this company,
Right.
as opposed to the person who's dibbling and dabbling like me, who does 3 or 4 different things. That person is the hustler. And so the name hustler has kind of been a bad name in our lexicon in the States. I see hustlers down here
Oh, yeah.
just trying to make it.
Exactly.
And, you know, we see a lady on the Malecon every day. If you look down there now, I bet she's walking by with a platter of these coconuts that are cooked in like little cakes. And even though I might not want one, she sees me, I'm buying it.
Exactly.
I just love her hustle. You follow what I'm saying? I love her what? Hustle. The guy walk around all day with a board this big and this big full of donuts on his head on the beach.
Right.
Try walking on a beach with anything on your head.
Oh yeah.
And
It's hot.
they're selling it, or they're selling kites, or they're selling keychains, or they're selling. Now,
Whatever, anything you can
you know
think
what?
about.
And I'm gonna this is in disclosure, full disclosure. I remember the first time I came to Puerto Vallarta. I think it was my first Mexican trip years ago, and I just remember people on the beach walking by selling stuff, and it was a part of me that was like, I'm trying to relax, blah blah, woo woo woo, and I had that attitude. My attitude now is totally different. I will say no. Oh, I'll buy something.
a few things.
I'll buy something. I'll buy something every now and then because I respect the hustle, because that's what the game I'm in.
Exactly.
And I'm just saying that this is the time, this is the season for you to get your hustle on, whatever that is. This guy, I don't know how he made it. He couldn't speak English.
Right.
He gave me a pen and pad. I told him, everybody calls me Rico here, and he whipped it up, and the next thing I know,
You had a bracelet.
I had a bracelet. Next thing I know, my man Daryl said, hey,
want
let's
one
run
too."
one too. That's how the game is. Isn't that how the real game is?
That's true. That's true.
So I respect that hustle
Absolutely.
that they have. And I really respect it as a parent. All they trying to do is they just trying to do what my dad did with me.
Yeah.
Me have a better life than him. You know what I tried to do with my girl? I wanted them to have a better life than I had.
Right.
That's how this works, and that's what I'm trying to do with my grands.
Exactly.
So I'm just saying, I feel like I'm in a nice spot because I'm around other hustlers.
Right. Exactly.
And I don't have nothing but love for them hustlers,
Yeah.
man.
No.
Oh, hey. I'm contributing to the damn society. you understand? Yeah. I'm giving back
That's right.
in a way. I'm eating my hot dogs once a week.
He's doing tours.
Exactly.
tours. He's like, you gotta go to
hey.
this restaurant, Mr. Leonzo's.
Yeah.
So if you ever come, says your man, but Mr. Leonzo, we went to Roy's.
Yeah.
For the best
Sunday,
ribs. Mhm.
right? And then yesterday we went to Stone Island.
Mm-hmm.
Stone Island. Okay, so you take a boat over there. I guess maybe there's a way to drive, but we don't have cars, so we took one of the caballeros, as you call them. I forget the name. I think
They're
it was-
Pulmonitas.
Palmanitas.
Hey,
Okay.
nobody likes that word.
I like the
Doesn't even
Caballeros.
sound right.
Yeah,
Doesn't even
hop on
sound
your
right.
horse and go to the dock, and then there's like a short boat ride over to Stone Island, and it was just really beautiful beach. The waves were not crazy.
Water is 80 degrees.
It was warm. I didn't
Bananas.
get in.
Yeah,
it
I didn't
was
get in. I was
crazy.
too busy nursing my margarita, but it was just really, it's authentic Mexico over there.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't see a lot of tourists in general. The food was
We
amazing.
saw one tourist.
Oh, that's right.
We saw one
Who
tourist.
was it that we
And
saw?
you'd never guess who it was. It was Jeff Teague from the world champion, Milwaukee Bucks. And he didn't know him and a buddy and their two lady friends, and we shouted them out.
That's
He
right.
never realized, yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't expecting us.
He was not expecting. We caught him totally off guard.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was,
Exactly.
whatever.
Incognito. Yeah, he turned around like,
Yeah. Who is that?
So, it was really beautiful. We spent hours just hanging out. We had probably 50 different vendors trying to sell us stuff every 30 seconds. And as you said, initially, it might feel like, okay, whatever, but, they're just doing what they got to do to survive. We really enjoyed ourselves. So we did that, and every day's been about food and drinks and lots of good times and laughter. It's been really an amazing trip, especially for me because I feel like I get to go somewhere, hang out with people I know, but also have you guys kind of show us your place, and that I had like a hand in kind of helping you get to
No
Mexico.
question.
and
You had
settle.
more than a hand.
You gave us so much guidance.
It's exciting for me.
You were just such
You
and
were
Daryl-
confirmation.
Yeah, you and Daryl
You
have
were
been such
confirmation.
a tremendous blessing.
Yeah.
And you're not friends, you're family.
Oh,
So
yes. Oh,
yeah, we're
after
thankful.
Thanksgiving,
yeah.
we family.
We family
That's
now.
right, we family now. We're just missing Angelique and Dana.
Oh
The
God.
other two links in our.
They'll be down. They'll be down soon.
Yeah, I think they'll end up coming here at some point.
Well,
Probably.
thank you ever so
Oh, you're
much.
welcome.
Just for we're so thankful to you and Daryl and everything that you've poured into us and and just leading us and being there to answer my call when I was on the ledge, like, oh my God, and just being right there and just being so consistent. And it's such a joy just to see, how you're helping so many other people to come to this realization as well.
Absolutely.
I see that you are definitely tapping into your ministry, and your ministry is filled with so much love, and it's going to continue to be blessed, and you're going to continue to be a blessing to so many other people. So just thank you, my love.
Oh, you're welcome. So, is there anything else that we want to add to this? Because I can talk forever.
Well, like I said, just to be open, to be open to what the possibilities are, to come here being ready and willing to have an adventure and to share as well.
Absolutely.
Just wait a minute. Yeah, Jazz is getting
Yeah, and just thanks. Well, you can tell it's loud. But really, just whenever you're venturing out, don't be so. Stop limiting yourself
Yeah.
to the possibilities. I
Right.
guess is really what we're saying.
Yeah.
You might not. It might not be Mexico you come to, but it might be a change.
Right.
It might be a place, something that you want to do. It might be the job. It might be, your family unit, your situation, something, and don't be so afraid to try something new.
Exactly.
And don't listen to the noise. Your friends and your relatives are going to try to talk you out of it.
Yes.
We get it.
Yeah.
But they do the same thing if you told them you're going to quit your good job and start your own job, your own business. They're going to try to talk you out of it. Because you know what? Starting your own business is never a good time. If you're making money, you're stupid. If you ain't making money, you're stupid. So it is never going to be a good time to do it. And my point is that, you know, I keep telling people, when people ask me, I say, hey brother, I'm on my back nine and I'm playing every shot, because I get it. I don't know if I'm on number 10 or if I'm on number 17, but I can tell you one thing. I can see the clubhouse. I know the clubhouse is around the bend. And so it's about now taking control of this last portion of your life. And if you've been fortunate to have made it through all that we've been through over this last year and a half, man, just be blessed and count that. You know, and realize that you've been fortunate enough, and maybe that was a sign for you to what? Do something else, do some more, lean in a little bit more, go a little bit harder, try something different. And that's all we're doing. So, you know, we think she's just been a real rock in this whole process. I mean, just been a guardian angel over us, you know. And if somebody would have told us a year ago, that we would be here, we would just say, we've just laughed it off. And here we are. And here we are, you know, literally this time last year, maybe we were watching YouTube videos, maybe. I don't even know if it was this. So when did we do the first Zoom meeting? What month was that?
September.
You see my point?
September.
So this is like Bezos going to space. I mean, I would have believed that before we'd have been in Mexico. So the possibilities. That's the message I want you to take away. That they're endless. And if you just make the first move, the universe, if it's for you, will what? Will meet you halfway. If it's for you, it will meet you halfway. And if it didn't, guess what? It was just a hunch. You're going on to your regular life and keep it moving. So, thanks, dear. We appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you all, you know, for reaching out, the whole conversation that happened. You know, it was also the universe for me too, you know, because as I said, I came up with this whole name, I got the URL, you know, I'm all about branding, but I had no direction. And I think just with your thing opening up and it's sort of like, you know, the fairy dust settled, and you know, here we are, and we all met.
And you're good at it.
Oh, thank you.
And you're good at it.
But I love it because I feel
that's the main thing. You're good at it.
Yeah, I love sharing. I think that it's been really a blessing for me to be able to keep sharing my story, and even just doing these interviews, you know, I feel like I'm meeting so many cool and interesting people. You guys at the top of that list. It's allowing me to see how many individuals have their own journey, you know, and it's all very unique in some way. I mean, we might have the same reasons, but just everything is so inspiring, and that's my point. Like, I am here to inspire, and that's it. I'm like, you want to go to Timbuktu? If that inspires you, go to Timbuktu. You want to live in the mountains with the indigenous people?
Go right ahead.
You know, it's just, the world is your oyster, and I just want people to like reach out and say, oh, you know what? I can see myself in that story. And that's really what it's about, you know? So,
Wow.
Anyway, thanks again. I absolutely love you guys.
Hey, salute.
Love you too, babe.
Salute. Buenos dias.
Yes. So if you're ever in Mazatlan, you know, reach
Look
out.
us up.
That's right. You guys have a page. It's called Beautiful Black
Expats, and it's on Facebook, and there's also Beautiful Black Expats on Instagram as well.
Awesome. Okay, and we'll have all the description about how to get in touch with them down in the description box, and everything that you want to know about Mazatlan that's available to us. And yeah, here they are. They're living the dream. We're living the dream. Other people are living the dream, and we're all very happy. That's right. Let's dream it. Right. Anyway, thanks again. Thank you guys for watching and supporting. And feel free to ask questions. Additionally, check out my other episodes where I feature other Black expats in Mexico and how they landed where they landed. And that's it. Thanks, guys.
Salute.
Salute.
Wait a minute, I ate ribs with this dude.